Mr. Smith.
All right. Yeah. We tried something new. It didn't work out, but it is what it is. Welcome to the King and Me Show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
We here at the King and Me Show attempt to offer a real outlook on a healthy relationship, real being relatable,
Entertaining
accountable,
and loving.
I got to get some things set up here, so before we get comfortable, I'll just get all the stuff out the way, then get set up. You good with that? We just had a change in status, and somebody wants to be brand new.
You changed my name. I act brand new. Yes.
If we can get somebody to comment, and I got to make sure that the comments are coming through here. It doesn't look like it. Why is this not coming through?
Hold on.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Let's see if we can get the comments coming through. All right, so that's one chat. Steph is in the building.
Steph is here. Steph made a decision. So I love it.
So let me see if this is working.
Hey, Steph.
Okay, boom. All right, so we got that. And then I see God Happen to Me's thing come in and say hello. Okay, so I think we at least got YouTube working. Let me see if I can get the other ones going. While I do that, talk to the people.
All right, y'all. So you see our location right now. We have one more after today. So two. So today's stream and next Monday's stream will be our last streams in this particular studio, as Mr. Smith and I are moving into our own place and our place together. So our first home together. And we will have a new studio set up. So we are finalizing what the details of that studio will look like, because obviously we'll be in transition. We're moving in on the 1st, which means that for that Monday, I'm going to need y'all to extend all the grace in the world as we navigate, like, trying to get up and running. So if you've ever moved, think about that time when you moved and you had like nothing and you were starting from the bottom. Now we here. Like, that's where we about to be come Monday the 4th. So we ask for your grace as we like navigate through and get everything set up in that new location. We are excited. We will be doing reviews on the products that we ordered from the various companies, like our bed. Like, I think we took y'all with us when we did some bed shopping to find out like what kind of mattress we were going to be sleeping on. So we're going to do reviews about that. We bought a new washer and dryer, which I'm super excited about because I'm like, I'm an adult. I got a new washer and dryer. So excited. So we'll be talking about
Nerd.
that. Look, don't judge me, because I am going to do one on that vacuum cleaner that we're getting. Because, hey, my Sil is in the building. Hey, Sil. I'm so excited. Like, super duper excited. Please understand there will be reviews coming out. Definitely coming from, Domestic Show. I think that'll be my new name, Domestic Show. It has a flair to it.
Interesting.
Show. I don't know. We'll work on it. The name is fluid. We'll have to workshop it. But yeah, I think we should definitely do that. Like, have reviews of the products that we bought so that we can tell people, hey, like, if you're just starting out, these are great companies that you should utilize. You can do all this, and that with it. I think it'll be cool.
All right. Introduce today's topic before we showcase the video.
Okay, y'all. So I know today is April 20th, and y'all, it's actually a special day for us because today marks 3.5 years that we've been together.
Uh-huh.
Hi, baby.
Hey.
So So if you haven't figured out, we're streaming across multiple platforms. We are on W.T.F Nation Radio. Shout out to you all, Army Veteran Station. I'm sorry, Military Veteran Station, and we are just one of the many shows that streams across that. We're streaming on our own platform. We're streaming across the Homies platform, Perry Productions. We are also uploaded to Creation Station. We're on Twitch. We're on X. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook.
Spotify.
Shout out to our Spotify listeners. We love y'all so much because you can see the foolishness between us. So it takes a lot for y'all to listen and not actually have the visual context. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Spotify can be video.
Spotify can be video.
Yes, ma'am.
So shout out to y'all who are watching via the video. Shout out to those who are listening on Twitch. Everyone, those of you who may or may not have had a work shift that you were supposed to go to tonight, and then you may or may not have gone to said work shift so that you could catch us, shout out to you as well. And definitely to my sis, to everyone who is in the building, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Okay. So, in addition to today being our 3.5 year anniversary, on Friday, we decided to do a little, you know what? I think there's a video that best describes it.
Let's play the video.
Going to the courthouse and we're gonna get. Going to the courthouse and we're gonna get. Going.
So, based on that, what did it look like occurred? Anybody want to take a guess? Because
it be like then he should have put a ring on it. Because it be like then he should have put a ring on it.
Well, obviously, because I had both my hands up earlier. But you know what? A ring does not make somebody change a title.
A home is still a home, even if there's no one sitting in it. And I'm sorry, no, a chair is still a chair, even if there's no one sitting in it.
Yeah.
So your love is still true for me, even if there's no ring.
That part.
To bling.
Yes.
Yes.
So while we did go to the courthouse.
We did.
While we did make some things a level of official.
Yes, we did. While we did have to pay some money to them. Yes.
Was there a title change?
There was a title change.
There
was a title change.
So let's talk about what that title change is.
Let's go into it.
Have y'all ever heard of a domestic partnership? Stephanie Joy commented and said, marriage. Just one word. And they said marriage of some sort.
Yes, so we did make a commitment to one another. We've always prided ourselves on committing ourselves to one another. We said early on that we did want to do life together. We were very, very serious about that. And we just decided to take our seriousness into a different level, to a different place, something that many people probably haven't heard of, which is fair because a domestic partnership is not recognized in all 50 states. It is only recognized in about like 6 or 7 states?
Yeah, about right 7 or so odd states.
6, 7.
6, 7. We did that, didn't we? Yes, we did.
We did. It's not recognized in a lot of states. So because of that, it may be something that you're new to hearing. But how are we doing this? Are you gonna do you want me to tell what a domestic partnership is?
Yes, go.
Okay. So
you've got the mic.
Thank you, baby. A domestic partnership is when two single as in not married, not legally married people decide to come together and formally establish their relationship with the state. And the main reason that they're doing this is to have some levels of protections and benefits should anything happen to one person or the other. So we are legally recognized in the state of Maryland as being in a relationship, being in this domestic partnership. Do we have tax benefits? No, we still gonna file separately come next year because we've already done our taxes for this year. We're still gonna file separately for next year. But there are some benefits that we do receive through the state. God forbid something should happen to one of us, the other person is automatically entitled to anything that we have ownership of. We can change legal statuses with HR to some extent. So there are some perks, there are some benefits that come with it. There are some other companies, like external companies, that recognize a domestic partnership and honor a domestic partner to the same level that they honor a spouse. So if a spouse could get a free flight or something, especially with him being a retired military, then a domestic partner could get those same considerations as well. It helps us in lieu of a will, which is something that we do have, and because we believe in having our ducks in a row, we do believe in having paperwork, but it does offer a level of protection. And for those of you who need a level of legality, we are legal. We are legally united. So
You talked about the example earlier. Another example is where you go to rent a car, right? With Enterprise, and this depends on the state that you live in too. Enterprise in Maryland recognizes the domestic partnership. So, like, whereas a husband and wife, or let me change that, two spouses. If one person rents, the other person doesn't have to be added on as an authorized driver. They're just automatically eligible as long as they have the driver's license. If you are not that person's spouse and a state doesn't recognize a domestic partnership, then you have to add that person, and there's a fee associated with it as an authorized driver.
Yes. So that's now something that we don't have to worry about with Enterprise, especially if we're starting from the state of Maryland. Is there a name change? No, there's not. And to be perfectly honest, I'm okay with that for right now. I've always said that if King and I got married, I would take his.
You do it in a heartbeat.
I would, and I still stand by that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I do still stand by that. However, there are some things with the current administration and changing a name versus what's on my birth certificate that does give me a little bit of hesitation. But in general, I have no problem, at least publicly, dropping Early and adopting Smith. No problem with that. Legally, I'm just a little bit concerned because of that. And that's the only reason. Other than that, whatever. Like, people joke all the time and like, you wouldn't be me anymore. Okay. I would be Miss.
We'd have to have we'd even have to have a whole branding change.
No, we would still be the King and Me because I was still initially me.
But you're not you.
But the King and Miss doesn't sound right.
I know.
So
how do we get through that?
It would still just say the King and Me, but we would know that I'm not me, I'm Miss. You know what? I should just start texting people. Be like, don't call me me anymore. Call me Miss. You want me to do that? I will do that. I will send a text message right now on this 40% battery.
How easy or how hard was the process?
Okay. So, state of Maryland, like I can't talk about any other state. I can only talk about the state of Maryland. State of Maryland could have made this a little bit easier. And the reason why I say that is because months ago, I looked up what it took to get a domestic partnership in the state of Maryland. We intentionally wanted to wait until we were about to move. But I looked into what it took to get a domestic partnership. There was this whole paperwork thing that you had to fill out. It was a one-sheeter. It basically needed your name, your partner's name, your address, social security numbers, and then you needed to affirm that both of y'all were single, single as in not married, but that you were in a why is monopoly coming to my mind, but not monogamous. You were in a monogamous you were in a monogamous relationship with one another, and then you needed to get it notarized, and then you had to take it down to the courthouse to take it to the Register of Wills, and you would pay the fee, and they would give you this certificate. And that seemed all clear, but me being me, who reads too deeply into everything, I was like, okay, well then how do we pay? Is there a notary at the courthouse, or should we go off-site to get notarized? All of those types of things. So basically, to answer those questions that I have, because they weren't available online, no, they don't provide a notary for you in the courthouse. You have to come with that notarized. They say that they accept card, cash, or check. However, when we went, the person who normally processes credit cards was not there. So we needed to have cash or check. So I say err on the side of caution. Have an option for all three, or just cash or card. That way you can make sure you get it taken care of. I did have to leave to go to an ATM to be able to get cash to come back and make that pay for that transaction.
How much was the fee?
The fee was $25, so it was a $25 fee for that versus what, 30 for a marriage certificate.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny. I don't understand why it couldn't be the same price.
Yeah, it's because it's the same level of paperwork. So I don't know why the marriage license costs more, because we did get an actual certificate. Do you have a picture of the certificate to pull up?
If you talk, I can bring it up.
Okay, so we did get an actual certificate, and it's the one I texted you, right?
Yes, but I did send it to myself.
Okay, so we did get an actual certificate with the seal from the Register of Wills. And because we needed to sit down and work out paperwork for something else, we were actually able to receive our certificate on the same day. Otherwise, it would have been mailed to us. We waited for maybe 10 minutes. Honestly, it was somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes. We waited that long to be able to get the certificate. And then once we got the certificate, we were good to go. We were golden. So, all in all, including the time that I had to leave back out to go get the cash, I want to say that process took about 20 minutes. Now, depending on who you are, you may have to pay for the notary. We went to a bank that I bank with and I used to work for, so they didn't charge me for the notary signature. So that was free. In the state of Maryland, otherwise it can cost you $8 to get that signature. And then the certificate itself was $25. So all we ended up paying was $25. And it just cost us about 15-20 minutes of our time, because we did have to drive from the bank where we were over to the courthouse, park the car, went through security, and then we were able. Oh, wait,
no. Okay.
That's not the right one.
That's not the right one, but this is what I told you
Okay.
could happen. So we're still live.
We're still live. We're still good. It's fine.
We can't see any comments.
We can't see any comments. It's fine. Because it's going to be okay. And you know why? Because we're able to ebb and flow. The only other thing is we can't show or display anything. So we will post a copy, because that was also the wrong one anyway. That one still had, it's fine.
I understand.
So it's fine. Life happens. You move on with it. But we were able to do this. And again, it was a simple process. So I'm really, really grateful for that. I don't know how long anything else will have taken. I do know that in the state of Maryland, we have a 2-day waiting period for marriages. So he and I had joked, like, if we were to get a marriage license versus getting the domestic partnership, we could have picked up the marriage certificate on the Friday, but we would have had a 2-day waiting period. Excuse me. So we wouldn't have been eligible to get married or anything until today. So,
you know, it's interesting the way that states treat certain things legal wise and things like that. Paul Bennett over on YouTube just commented and said, marriage license in my township is $150.
why they got 3 numbers in it?
Is that what you clutching your pearls on?
That's what I'm clutching my pearls on. Why they got 3 numbers? It is $30. It's like $30 here. I think that's what it was, right?
That's why the state that you live in is a state that I don't think I could ever see myself living in. But they don't pay state taxes there. At least I don't think.
That's probably why.
So that's a bonus.
That's probably why.
I mean, but their veterans benefits aren't as good as.
Oh, then no, we can go there.
Yeah. All right.
So okay, so that is what it is. So, King, I'm going to ask the question that everyone is likely thinking. So you have, whose YouTube channel is that?
This is ours.
Can you go to W.T.F Nation? I have ours pulled up. Okay. So this is ours. The question that everyone is probably thinking, why didn't we just get married? So, King, in your opinion, like, what are your thoughts about that?
We may not be live right now. Well, hold up. Hold up.
I think we are.
Hold up. This is one of the things that's going to get solved when we...
No, we're live.
Okay, so we are still live. All right. Don't know what just happened. But one of the things that's going to get solved when we get to our new studio is the internet situation. Studio A, fix your internet. All right. So I was asked very bluntly, why not just get married?
Mm-hmm.
And I think people don't understand what marriage is all about. And one of my answers is this: having been previously married, I fully understand the both the pluses and the minuses of a marriage working and a marriage not working. And in my opinion, while I think we do work well together,
Mm-hmm.
I will flat out say I don't think we are ready for
Oh, why not?
marriage. Before you and I got together, there were a lot of things that I was still trying to do financial wise and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a great plan of things together
Mm-hmm.
that we're looking at accomplishing with the financial pictures and goals in mind. When I got married the first time, I don't think I got married in debt,
Okay.
but it definitely accumulated debt from getting married. Like, not just, even though we didn't have a big wedding or anything like that, those initial purchases and things like that took out loans for, so that just so that we could live together, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing things a lot different and not comparing it to that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just having gotten older, having gotten a little bit more wiser, it doesn't make sense to go into debt for a relationship.
That's
So
true.
with you and I moving in together, we're moving in together, and with the exception of one thing that's getting financed, which was one of the more expensive things,
Right. That's true. But also the most necessary thing of all.
which was our bedroom. We got
Yeah. The
we
bed.
we got a sleep number, because we over the age of 40.
We're over the age of 40 and like
and that
we care about our backs, our necks. Yeah.
and that sleep's important. Um, Everything else is getting paid without being financed or going into debt for, and that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with the financial picture of what we're looking at doing, I think we support each other very well. I think we communicate in an excellent fashion,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think we're there to do that.
Okay. In your opinion, what do you think it takes to get there? To get from where we are now, where we're legally recognized by the state as being in a monogamous relationship, what do you think it takes to move from state recognition to federal recognition? Because
Well,
honestly, and excuse me, so I'll give
go
you a
ahead.
second
Go ahead.
to think about that. Because honestly, that's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. One is state level recognition, and one is the federal level recognition. One says that we are eligible for certain benefits and perks. One says that we can do taxes together. I can get my name changed at any time for any reason. I can wake up and say, I don't want my name to be this anymore. And I can go through a name change. So at the end of the day, that's the only thing that is that is different between the two of them. One is recognized at a state level and one is recognized at a federal level. That's it. There is no other difference.
My answer to that question,
Mm-hmm.
and I hate answering questions because I then automatically start thinking of what the counter question is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think we still have to prove ourselves. We've known each
To each
other
other?
for, yes,
Okay.
we've known each other for less than 5 years, and there are people that go, well, I've met my significant other, and I knew within 6 months and married her in under a year, and we've been together 20 plus years. Love that for you.
But so here's the thing. It's not that you didn't know early on that I was marriage material. It's that you knew that we weren't ready to get married. Those are two different things.
Yes.
So, not to put words in your mouth
No.
and to actually have you restate it for those who are listening, because men will say that I'm feeding words in your mouth.
No.
Would you, do you think that I'm marriage material?
Yes.
Do you think we're ready to get married right now?
No.
Okay, so that's fair, right? That's okay. We did have a comment from Steph, so bear with me, Steph. Steph said, this is to you. So marriage criteria is based on financial goals.
Partly. Partly. It's still that proving of yourself to the other person, which you should do on a regular basis. to have that understanding that that person isn't going to screw you over in the end.
Anchor you down.
Yeah, thank you.
I say this with all due respect. I can understand that. Like, I'm not mad at that. When my parents got married, my mom was still new to the country. She was here on an alien registration card. Like, she had a resident alien card, right? That's how she got into this country. And she married my dad, and she was very, very naive. She had only been in this country for 4 years. She already had 4 kids. When she married my dad, she didn't know about the financial um entanglement that came with marrying a person, because when their marriage ended, and they were only married for 2 years, when their marriage ended, she ended up having to file a bankruptcy because of the debt that my father had before her, and that they had accumulated in the short time that they were married, which stemmed from things that my father had done. Again, so at the time, my mom is filing a bankruptcy in a country that she's not even a naturalized citizen in. She's legally here, like, she's a legal resident, but she wasn't even a citizen at that point, and she had to file bankruptcy because she got married to someone that she didn't know financially. So I'm not going to say that marriage, I won't say that, and I want to make sure I'm quoting you, I won't say that a marriage criteria, one of the criteria for marriage is financial goals, but we should be financially aligned. With, like, when we talk about people being um equally yoked, part of that should have to deal with finances. Not saying that we should have the same amount of money, because Lord knows King and I do not make the same amount of money, right? Like, we do not, but our goals are the same. We still know where we want to go in life. We still know what we want to do. So because of that, we make sure that to an extent there is a level of alignment with that. And if we can honestly say, look at each other and say, I love you. I could tell from, whichever early point in our relationship that you were marriage material, but that we together are not ready yet. I think that's fair, because the difference between the state level of recognition and the federal level of recognition is finances. That's the biggest difference between there, because in the federal level, you are financially intertwined to that person. You do assume that person's debts. You do assume that person's, like, everything, their assets and their debts, their assets and their liabilities. So that definitely is something that you want to enter into wisely.
Hmm. So for me, when I say that and the way that I think about it, it's not coming from a place of scaredness or um what I can imagine some of the people are gonna say, be like, girl, that man don't want you. It's like,
It's the exact
based on
opposite.
what?
Right.
And a prudent person, which I believe I'm prudent. Like, if people know me, do I do pause? Is there anything that I do that's like haphazard?
No.
Right?
You're
Like,
spontaneous, but you're even with your spontaneity, there's a level of logistics and logical thinking that goes into your spontaneity.
so, but I think that people too often don't fully think through the decisions that they're making.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the decision to take the decision to even do a friendship with you wasn't just a spur of the moment thing.
No, like, we have contracts for all that. When we decided that we were going to enter into a friendship, we have a friendship contract. When we decided that we were going to move from friends to dating, we have a dating contract. Even now, we're about to move in together. We also signed a cohabitation agreement. We created a cohabitation contract, and we would show y'all, but our screen is a little. We'll put it on our page. We'll post some pictures of it. We created a cohabitation contract that's what, like 5-6 pages
Mm-hmm.
of the things that we wanted to outline about who we are as individual people and what we were bringing into our relationship. And it also has some of our final wishes in there, should one of us be unable to medically advise ourselves. This is what we want the other person to do, and then also what we want the other person to do upon our death. Like, we have all of that in our cohabitation contract. We had that notarized as well. So we don't enter into these things lightly. So it has nothing to do with us not wanting to be with the other person, but that there are other greater things. I do just want to pause for a moment and say this is an awkward moment, because even though I'm here with you, my domestic partner, y'all, my husband joined the chat. So
Shout out to Jake. Jake's in the building. Said, yo, my domestic partners. What up, Jake? We give you a salute as well, my man.
So Jake is a friend of ours. Jake and it's not. I'm not even gonna say it's just Jake and I. I think it's Jake and all of us have the running joke that Jake and I are married. So it's a running joke that goes on. His partner is in on the joke. King is in on the joke. I'm in on the joke. Our friends are on the joke. So now you are too. So hey Jake, how are you? It's so good to see you.
What else? What else have haters brought up about this arrangement? Oh, one person on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna call him out like, ooh, I wish I would have like clipped this a
If
little
we
bit
could have,
better.
yeah. His name was Steve Ryan.
Steve Ryan. Steve Ryan, shout out to you. I'm gonna give you a shout out. Came out and said that only, and I'm gonna paraphrase, like a low IQ, untrustworthy individual would do something like this. But he didn't give like
He couldn't give a reason.
didn't give a reason. Also, it wasn't. It was hurling insults. As a lot of what he said was insulting, but he didn't really put any critical thinking. If you put a critical thought behind an insult, I would respect that insult all the way.
Yes.
But just to say things without no factual things to back it up, because at one point I said something and then he goes, "It's just facts." I'm like, from what?
What?
Where?
Okay. If you want to say something, back it up. We do have two comments. So one comes from my Sil being sister-in-law, Wendy, who says Sleep Number bed is a great investment. We love ours. I know that, like, we were soliciting advice. I'm so sorry for not reaching out to you, but yeah, we made the Sleep Number decision and we are excited for that. Our backs have literally over the past month been like, so when are you getting that bed? Because we need it. And then Paul Bennett asks, y'all getting some form of rings? He asked if we're getting some type of rings.
Yes.
Oh, we
are?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then yes. Yes, Paul, we are.
Either the Samsung ring or the Aura ring. For health tracking purposes, with this ring, I track your health metrics. We are though. We are. And you asked about it the other day.
I did ask about it.
Where did that come from?
King,
like,
I'm
why?
random. Like I can't tell you where some things come from. It's just like it's like a falling star. Like catch a falling star, put it in your pocket, save it for like things just come out of nowhere.
We've talked about this before, but aside from the state to federal changes or things that would change for us, there is also the social aspect. So like wearing the rings or having that is the social aspect of what it is. There are some people that look at a domestic partnership and go, but y'all still ain't. Hold on. But that's still your special friend.
Oh, he did that on purpose. King Smith. No. King Smith knows that is what is that grinds my gears. There we go. I'm trying to look for a southern phrase to insert. That grinds my gears, okay? Because I hate that terminology. Y'all done been together for like 90 years and then you go to the funeral and you listed in there as his special friend.
So there are things that what's important for me, I'm not going to say for us, I'm going to speak for myself with this next statement. What's important for me is that while we are still doing life together, we do those legalese things, that stuff that gives us protections so that we're not fighting against the state or whoever, whatever entity to have our desires and stuff carried out. Right? Like, it wasn't that difficult. And I think maybe our age plays a factor into this too, because like at Johns Hopkins, people treated you as though you were my spouse. There were no questions about anything. There were, as the doctors were coming in, I didn't have to give permission, like looking over, like, am I okay to disclose health information? They were just talking to you in a manner of this is what's going on with your significant other.
Mm-hmm. And there's also, I don't know if it was the Johns Hopkins um, paperwork, but something, maybe it was for one of my doctor's offices that specifically said like relationship status, single, married, domestic partnership, and because like they recognize that. There is a question here. King stance seems about having enough evidence to proceed. It's unrealistic because humans and situations continually evolve.
Okay.
You're either devoted or interested in marriage. I think that was it. No, there is more. It also says King is just rebellious. Michelle has been his wife since day one, if you ask me. And then furthermore, again, King is rebellious about marriage, but doing everything that represents marriage.
Who called me rebellious? That's somebody that knows me.
Yes, it is someone who knows you. Someone who knows you well enough to know that that is a true statement.
That is a true statement.
Rebellious or stubborn or both?
It could be both.
It's both.
Yes, we do talk about this. It is a choice and a decision, in my opinion, to wake up and devote yourself to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, before we went live, Michelle and I were talking about a couple of things, and it is a choice, in my opinion, to wake up and want to show passion to somebody, to wake up and want to love on somebody, to wake up and choose to devote yourself to someone.
Mm-hmm.
It is a choice, and I am asking, not demanding it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for that on a daily basis. If she decides to wake up, or if I'm not trying to make this about you, but if the other person, one party, decides to wake up and not do that anymore,
it's easier to get out of a domestic partnership than it is to get out of a marriage. To get out of a domestic partnership, you literally just have to go back to the register of wills and say, "Hey, JK, you can go ahead and delete that thing," and they'll issue a termination of domestic partnership. I do see Holly's in the building.
hey, shout out to Holly. Holly said it's a smart move for a real estate investment. Both buy homes with first-time buyer and such before you get married.
Yes. So, one, the person who asked it, who said that King was being rebellious, said that they still love you though. And that's what I said. It's someone who knows you well enough to know that that's the truth. But so thank you. And then what Holly said is also true. So yes, because we're not legally married, there are some like hidden benefits that come with that. Like exactly that from a real estate perspective. We heard from someone else, like when you posted this on your Facebook, you did hear from someone, and I can't remember the name of the person, but someone said that because they've been married again, they've been married before, they would never get married again, and that a domestic partnership seems like something that would be a viable option for them.
Yes.
Because again, it gives you in your state some of the same protections. It covers some of the same bases. It makes you an automatic default. So like if you care, you should care about that health aspect, like who gets to make decisions in case the other person is unable. It automatically defaults to that domestic partner because you do have that legally binding thing. Again, we are legally bound to one another. There is a level of legal boundness
Yes.
to us. It's just a state level versus a federal level.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you twist my hand to doing this?
Not at all.
Did I twist your hand into doing this?
Not at all.
Do you feel some type of way that you've got this versus something else?
No, I don't. So I don't. I do not feel that way. However, I will piggyback off of, well, not piggyback, but pick back up where we were before. So you mentioned that over the weekend, because again, we just did this on Friday, y'all. You mentioned that, what was it, Saturday? I asked how you felt about me getting a silicone ring.
Oh, yes.
And the reason, so I'll spell it out and I'll come from my perspective. The reason why I asked about a silicone ring, number one, I'm not a big fan of jewelry. So this on my left hand is a fidget ring. It's something for me to fidget with to help with my ADHD. And this is a ring that I've worn for God since 2017. and the 6 earrings that I have here and the nose ring. And these are like small where you just see the gold because I like gold. That's it. That's all the jewelry I have. I don't tend to wear necklaces. I don't like the feeling like one of the rear end collisions that I had just kind of like messed with my neck. I don't like the feeling of necklaces. I don't take out and wear any other type of earrings or jewelry or anything like that. I'm not a jewelry person at all. And as you can tell, I don't do bracelets. I do my Fitbit watch, but that's it. I wanted that ring for this very purpose, not necessarily for today's show, but for those people who need to see a band in order to believe that there's legality. Like for some people, they need some type of visual.
I don't care about them
whatever.
people though.
I know. So I understand that and I respect your answer. There are some people who are like, yeah, but I need to see something. I need to see like a wedding certificate. And I guess God didn't want us to show it to you anyway because the screen cut off. But they're like, I
That's
need
funny.
to see some type
That's
of
funny.
wedding certificate. I need to see some type of ring, something to kind of justify that it happened. The ring was going to be for that because I wasn't even saying you wear one. I was saying I was going to wear that silicone ring. Low-key, I don't even know if I could wear silicone because of my minor
you be allergic
allergy.
to
Yeah, my
everything.
minor allergy to latex. Madam Nurse, could I do that? Would I be able? But anyway, but like that's kind of that wasn't. Would it have soothed me a little bit to have that on my finger? Sure. But would it have changed anything between us? Not at all.
Let's see. Holly Leanne, to her earlier comment, said, rent the other once married. Like, that's a whole hack.
Wait, what was it?
Regarding the buying the house.
Yeah.
I gotta take a screenshot of this to send to the producer just so that
All
they're
right.
aware.
So, Tarika, hey Tarika.
Hey, what up, T?
She says she just looked up domestic partnership in Georgia and it's not there. Yes, Georgia is not one of the states yet.
So I know New York is one.
Mm-hmm.
I know Maryland is one, obviously.
Yeah.
Talk some stuff while I figure out what the other states were.
Okay. Not Paul and asked again, not sure my question was seen on the other stream.
Okay.
Are we getting rings? So King jokingly but seriously answered and said, yes, we are getting rings. We're either getting Aura Health or Samsung rings. So they're health related rings, but they're rings. And were we wearing it on our wedding finger? I will say I did hear.
I never thought about that.
I heard.
I don't know what's the right finger you should wear them on.
So I told
you more effective your thumb or something. I don't know.
I told you one of my former students, he has one and he wears it on his ring finger, and he said seriously on that finger, and he said he wears it there because it offers better protection as opposed to wearing it on any of the other fingers. So on that one, yes. And my nurse said that yes, I'd be fine with silicone, even though I have a minor latex allergy.
Bet.
Thank you.
So this is looking this up through ChatGPT. Let me put the source out there. It says states that offer broad rights similar to marriage: California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Jersey, Hawaii, and DC, which I know about DC.
Yeah.
And then there's limited or conditional, which Maryland.
We fall in the limited because we do have some things that can't change.
Maryland, Virginia, Colorado, Wisconsin, and Maine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of spells out like kind of what it, like Maine it says limited rights, Wisconsin says limited protections, and then it highlights Maryland, where you live, falls into this bracket of limited or conditional recognition. It's recognized, but it's not close to marriage legally.
Yes, and it says that specifically for Maryland, we focus on the medical and the property, which is something that I feel like we talked about a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So, and this is something too, in bold letters, domestic partnerships do not automatically transfer
from state to state
across states.
Because it's not federally recognized. And we said that. It's a state thing.
We foot stomped that and wanted to make that clear. So for those of y'all that might be considering it, look into the pros and cons for your relationship. You and your significant other would have to really talk out to decide how y'all want to handle things. You could still do life together without a domestic partnership. There's wills, other legal things that, again, you would just have to have access to it so that when challenged or questioned, you could produce said documents so that you could then be able to get your wishes, granted. It's an extra step. So it doesn't make it to where it's impossible.
It's just
It's
an
an
extra
extra
step.
step.
All right, so let me ask you all a question because we asked each other these questions and we know how we feel. In your mind, what's the difference between a domestic partnership, which is state legally binding, and a marriage, which is federally legally binding? What's the difference? We would love to hear from you. Wherever you comment, we'll see it. If you're watching this on the replay, comment. We still want to hear from you. We definitely want to hear. In your opinion, what is the difference between a legally binding on the state level domestic partnership or a legally binding marriage on the federal level? We would love to hear your opinion on that. For me, I will say this. I am very much satisfied with where we are now. There is a level of commitment. As King said, if you don't get married, you just have an extra step that you have to do with regards to paperwork. So we put in our cohabitation contract. Like I said, we put in there some of our final wishes. If I am unable to make medical decisions for me, I wanted King to have the power to make medical decisions for me. And I gave him that right in our cohabitation agreement. Same thing for him. If I do, go off to be with the Lord, I gave him permission to fulfill my final wishes, and he did the same for me. And we put in there the language that we wanted it to say. And then in his case, I just need to contact his daughter. He's sitting down with HR tomorrow to make sure that all I's are dotted, all T's are crossed. I emailed HR today to make sure that everything, they could tell me what else I need to update on their end. And I even sent them a copy of the domestic partnership, the certificate of domestic partnership, so that I can know what I need to update. And anything where he wasn't already listed as a beneficiary, I will switch it over so that he is listed as that beneficiary. Some of those things we already had in there. He is my medical point of contact. He's always been my medical point of contact. Since the moment we entered a relationship together, he has been my medical point of contact because I have known, I don't care what he knew, but I have known since the very beginning that we were going to be together forever and ever. Amen. I knew that. So my stuff, my medical stuff has been updated and his has as well.
We got a couple of comments on WTF Nation Radio. Let me read these. Holly, thank you, because I was searching for the word earlier and I said will. Power of attorney.
Power of attorney. Okay.
Was what I was
trying
to say. Thank you. And then to the question, Holly said, I'd assume simply finance. I have no idea.
Okay.
Susan's in the building, said, let's see. Let me scroll back up here. Once upon a time, it was called common law marriage. In the U.S., in some states, all you need to do was both sign in and get a hotel room together, basically cohabitate.
Okay.
And Texas was one of those that they don't have a formal thing like a domestic partnership, but Texas is a common law state.
And we're not a common law state.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Susan also said that I'm sure you guys have already consummated. In the olden days, you two were technically already considered married.
Yeah.
Paperwork.
All right. And then over here, we have from our sis Steph, who said, I'll speak ignorantly. Domestic partnership sounds like lifelong roommates with an emergency contact. Ooh. Marriage feels like not only romance, but family. And so here's what I'll say to that. I remember
That's an interesting take.
It is, and it's an honest take, and we love honest takes more than anything. Remember, we were talking to someone who is younger than us. So you're in your 40s. I'm about to be 40. We were talking to someone who's in their 20s, and we were talking about our cohabitation contract and everything like that. And the person said that it sounded like there was no love in it. So I respect that. I respect that that's how it sounds. However, I need you to know that I can't be in a situation where there is no love. So while it may sound all paperworky, all, let's get this notarized, let's do this at the courthouse, and it may not sound like there is no love in it, there is nothing but love here between us, because for us, we just look at love just a little bit differently. Like my love language is quality time and physical touch. His love language are words of affirmation and oh my gosh, what's that second one? Why are these words not working today? Words of affirmation and acts of service. So for us, we believe in putting combined, we believe in putting action to the words that we're feeling into the thoughts that are in our heart. So these are the actions that we're putting into it. So even though he didn't force me into any of this, doing it is my act of service for him. That is my act of showing love. That is my words of affirmation because I'm putting it down that this is how I feel. And then for him doing this for me is also showing, it's giving me that reinforcement that I know that you are here for me. And because we have crappy memories, it just helps us to be able to recall what we said we're going to do for each other. But please believe the love is still very much there. We just have some paperwork to support us where our memories don't carry us.
And you've got the plan documented, right? So you go down the aisle, what you might have on video or whoever it was that witnessed it were or whatever like the marriage vows is. And the marriage vows is so broad, right? That you're promising to do that to that person, but then like outside of that, you still have to think about the day to day for how you live and do life with somebody.
Yeah.
We have it spelled out.
Yeah.
And with the ability to come back, readjust, reaffirm.
So basically, we just did it in the reverse order.
I think we did it in I'm gonna say the correct way.
Okay, so we did it in the reverse order of society. So society says meet a person, fall in love, get married, and then at some point do all of this. Whereas we believe that we met a person, fell in love, did all the legal schmeagle stuff, and then, if marriage comes, marriage comes. So we knocked out all the legal things because for us, that's what's important. We wanted to make sure that we're covered and that we're taking care of those legal aspects. So I get completely how it doesn't sound lovey-dovey. It doesn't sound romantic or any of those types of things. But these are the things that need to be knocked out.
You enter a courthouse with love to get married. You can exit a courthouse without love and get a divorce. So what does love have to do with a healthy relationship thriving where it's just love? I think you need love and a plan.
So I'm going to say this. We both have parents that are aging. We have aunts and uncles that are aging. Just found out some news about one of my family members who's aging and just found out about a late end stage cancer. And I will say this, there are no plans for that person, right? The person doesn't have insurance, which means they most definitely do not have life insurance. They have not thought about the end game, but they're married. And that person, unfortunately, that they're married to is also experiencing some memory loss, whether it's due to dementia or, some type of TBI that we may not be aware of. So basically, you have two, for the lack of a better term, a married couple where both of them are incapacitated and not necessarily able, even if they knew the wishes of the other person, to fulfill said wishes of other person. What are they going to do? They're married. They're legally recognized by the federal government, by everyone. They are legally recognized. They have the rings. They have the name change. But what are they going to do? King and I are at the point where we have knocked out the legality of that. If something happens, God forbid, we have it outlined what we want to happen. We have legally documented all of that, and we've made that very, very clear on our position. And from here, we can have unrestricted love and allow that to flow because we've taken care of the ugly part, right? Like we've already knocked that out the way, out the park, identified how we want to live, how we want things to progress. We've taken care of that. Now we can focus on the love. We can focus on building our wealth because understand if we get married, there's also a prenup coming because, again, that doesn't sound pretty. That doesn't sound all lovey dovey, but that's who we are as people. Like, we want to make sure that that stuff is out the way. The legal stuff, handle that first. It's kind of like when you sit down at the table and you eat your vegetables first because it's the part that you hate the most. You eat your vegetables first so that you can get, knock everything else out and handle all that other stuff later. That's kind of what we're doing. We're knocking out the vegetables first so that we can enjoy our dessert later.
So that is the deal with a domestic partnership.
Mm-hmm.
We covered what it is. We covered what it gave you here in the state of Maryland. Again, you have to take a look at your state's offerings and how it works for you in whatever state that you're living in. And for us, I think we both can say whatever level you choose to do, it's whatever you communicate with your significant other. And like any business arrangement, which a relationship is a business arrangement, I'm gonna say it like that. There's an offer and there's an acceptance.
Yes. Two things. So, Steph, you said, which I love that things are spelled out. I don't see why not do a personal ceremony with your own stipulations. For example, we can decide, just like the contract, if you want, and I can't see the rest of it. Oh, I guess that's here. If you want to leave the marriage license out of it, the DP covers legalities. Oh, so well, she says that. She wants to know why we didn't have like a little ceremony just for us. Like just me and you.
We did, walking out the courtroom.
Cake. She wants cake. Like she's asking for cake. She wants that thing. She wants to know why we
pay for a cake. We'll have a ceremony.
Oh my gosh. She wants to know why we didn't have like a little ceremony. Like since we've handled the legal things, why can't we just do a little ceremony for everyone to come and get the cake? And I'm putting words into her mouth with the cake part. She didn't actually say that.
Horrible.
And then Holly asked the question, and I love Holly because I don't know Holly, but like I love Holly. No, ma'am. There's an oven that holds no buns, okay? Absolutely no buns. None whatsoever. That's just as they said in the movies, that's just fat, baby. Yeah, that's just fat.
So we're gonna have to end the stream because what I don't know is
what's gonna happen.
Like to end it. So thank y'all for tuning in. We had a technical issue on our side. Go ahead and say what you're giggling about.
All right, so two things. So this is what happens when you get Steph and Paul Bennett in the comments at the same time. Who said it? Paul Bennett said jump the broom, which means he also wants some cake. And then Steph said, yes, cake, I'll pay. No problem. She said, I'll invest. Actually, then she followed up and said, I'll invest. So they want a ceremony. She wants cake and an invitation. Paul and his wife are going to come too. They want a little ceremony, King, and she says she'll invest.
Here in a little bit, we're going to have a little shindig. And we would love to invite those people to come out, hang with us, have a little soiree, things like that.
Does a Swiffer count? Because I'll jump a Swiffer. Okay, go ahead.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Well, we love y'all. Seriously, like we wouldn't be here without you.
For those of y'all tuning in on W.T.F Nation Radio, stay tuned for the Monday edition with Ice. Michelle, we've got to end the show the way we do it.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
Wait, now that I'm your partner, I get a shorter kiss? Like, that's
brand new.
I love you.
Love you.
Okay.
Brand new already. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I hope this ends it.
Like, is there anything else that you can press?
So I tried to look for a hotkey to see if I could press a hotkey, but I would have had to set that up in advance to be able to press the hotkey to end it. So the whole screen is black. We're updating the technology here soon. So I've got to literally turn off the laptop and hope that it ends the stream.
So that's not even what I'm concerned about. I'm worried, is it going to save everything? Oh, because it already uploaded, like we can still pull it back from somewhere. Okay.
On Restream. So we'll find out. Bye.